To begin our turnaround, I've brought our final front design for our dwarf into this new landscape-oriented document. Let's duplicate him and clip a white or gray-filled layer to mask the front view details. Then let's flip him horizontally by going to Edit, Transform, Flip Horizontally. Finally, create a new layer for our sketch and clip it to the top of the clipping mask stack. This will be our rough sketch layer for the back view of our character. Now is the time that we need to start thinking in reverse. In your mind, begin reducing the body forms down to simple shapes and use the character's silhouette to give you clues as you fill in the details of the design. I've once again sketched some little doodles to myself, similar to the 3D shapes we looked at earlier, to help me think about the dwarf's anatomy as simple 3D cylinders. The next issue is going to be his foot placement in 3D space. This is the only part of the silhouette that needs to be adjusted so that his feet and legs in the back view look like they are sitting on the same ground plane as the front view. Generally, I try to line up and switch the foot position by comparing the spacing from the front view. I know that his left foot should now be sitting closer to us in space, and that his right foot should recede farther back in space in the back view. I'm going to compare the difference in spacing with these horizontal lines to help guide me, and then start sketching in the adjustments to the pose with the feet in the correct position. It should end up looking something like this. Now let's continue on with the rest of the rough sketch. So now that the rough sketch is in place, and all the positioning and spacing issues have been resolved, let's do a final line drawing for the back view. Reference the techniques we used in Module 4 for your line drawing process. Something to keep in mind when doing a turnaround. While you do want to have a tight and clean final drawing for the turnaround views, we usually don't need to take the rest of the turnaround sheet as far as the final front design. We will not be adding any value layers to this, and just allow the line work to describe the design. Since we have already given the sense of materials, forms, and personality of the character in the front view, the rest of the turnaround simply needs to fill in any informational gaps that are not included in the original concept. Of course, you are welcome to render the other views and callouts for your character turnaround. Simply follow a similar process from the one laid out in Module 4 for the remaining turnaround elements. There may even come a time when you need to render the full turnaround for a project, though this doesn't happen very often in my experience. Now, your back view drawing may not end up being a perfect reverse view of your front concept. This really is not a big deal. You may even need to make a few tweaks here and there to make the drawing feel more natural or to make the back details more clear. The pose of the back view may even change a bit if necessary. The important thing here is to successfully communicate the information that isn't shown clearly from the front view. Now that our final line pass is done, let's quickly make the necessary adjustments to the gray silhouette base layer of the back view. Next, let's move on to the callout elements.